distant city hum from the life you are building. I can see you from here. There is a window high above the streets you walk tonight. My name is written on the door. The room is full of light. Still when the evening settles down, I remember where it began. A smaller room, a tired chair, a notebook in your hand. You thought the silence meant nothing. You thought the waiting proved you wrong. But every hour you kept returning was already bringing me along. You cannot see the skyline yet. You only see the work. But every line you finish now is giving me this world. I can see you from here, with your head above the pages, trying one more time when no one sees the changes. I can see you from here, so do not disappear. The life you keep imagining is closer than it appears. Every quiet step you take becomes the road that brought me here. You cannot see the ending yet, but I can see you from here. I remember every message that ended with "not this time." Every plan you had to alter, every doubt you called a sign. You watched the clock pass midnight and wondered what it meant to give so much without a promise that the effort would return. Still you opened up the notebook, still you learned what you did not know. Still you built a future slowly in a room that felt too small. You think your chances passed, but I am standing in the proof. The days you thought were empty were the days that carried you. I can see you from here, with your head above the pages, trying one more time when no one sees the changes. I can see you from here, so do not disappear. The life you keep imagining is closer than it appears. Every quiet step you take becomes the road that brought me here. You cannot see the ending yet, but I can see you from here. I cannot promise every doorway will open when you knock. I cannot say the road is easy or stop the hands of clock. But none of this is wasted. The nights you call too slow are teaching you the strength that one day you will know. Do not shrink, because today has not revealed what you will be. I am living proof your future needs you here believing. Now the skyline holds the morning. Every room that once felt closed could not stop what you were forming. I can see you from here, and I wish that you could hear how proudly I remember the one who brought me here. Every quiet step you take becomes the life I'm standing in. You are not behind or finished. You are where I had to begin. So lift your head and stay. Your time is drawing near. You cannot see me yet, but I can see you from here. The desk lamp stays on. You write one more line, and somewhere ahead I become real. Keep going.
I can see you from here. Everyone's standing still. Everyone is moving, or so it seems. I am still learning how to trust my own speed. Another photo fills the screen, a new job, a new city, a new beginning. Someone writes, I finally made it, and I smile, then close the app. The train doors open, people rush, each one certain where to go. I stand beneath the station clock, feeling late to my own life. My plans are written, cross rewritten, half complete beside my bed. I count the miles, they seem ahead, and forget the ground beneath my steps. Maybe progress is not always visible. Maybe roots grow where no one sees. Maybe I am not behind them. Maybe I am becoming me. I am not standing still, even when it feels that way. Every quiet try is building something I cannot see today. I am not standing still, I am learning how to climb. They are living their own chapters, I am only writing mine. Let them run toward their tomorrow. I will meet my future too. I may move a little slower, but I am moving through my road, my pace, my time will come. No step is wasted, no day is done. I used to measure every morning by the things I had not reached. Every name became a distance, every success judged me. But no one posts the nights of doubting or the doors that would not move. No one shows the years of practice hidden underneath the proof. So I return to what is mine. One small task, one honest start. The world can keep on racing, I can still protect my heart. Maybe growth can feel like waiting when it happens deep inside. Maybe slow does not mean failing. Maybe this is still my rise. I am not standing still, even when it feels that way. Every quiet try is building something I cannot see today. I am not standing still, I am learning how to climb. They are living their own chapters, I am only writing mine. Let them run toward their tomorrow. I will meet my future too. I may move a little slower, but I am moving through. One day I will look behind me at the room where I began, at the nights I felt forgotten, at the work no one could understand. I will see that every setback taught my feet another way, that the season called not yet was preparing me to stay. So I will not bow my head to a timeline not my own. Some flowers need the early spring, some need longer to be grown. of trying has been carrying the future me. I am not standing still, I do not have to match their time. They can celebrate their moment, I will keep believing in mine. Let the road unfold before me, let the distance take its time. I am not late to my own future, I am arriving line by line. My road, my pace, my time will come. Today is not the ending, I have only just begun.
It's one page turning, the numbers stay the same. No matter how long I looked, I opened the message slowly, with both hands cold and still. I had pictured something brighter waiting just beyond the screen. Every night was in that moment, every page beneath my pen. Every morning I kept going, when I wanted sleep instead. But the answer came back smaller than the hope I carried in, and the room became so quiet I could hear my breathing change. I thought effort would be measured in a way the world could see, but one result cannot contain everything this took from me. The work still counts, even when the number doesn't. Every hour changed my hands, every fall
Made something stronger.
the work still counts.
Even when I miss the mark, I am more than what was written at the bottom of the page.
This is not the proof I wanted, but it is not all I am. The result may close one doorway, the work still counts. I gathered all the papers with their corners worn and bent, lines of notes and little arrows showing where my courage went. There were answers I once feared that now I know by heart. There were days I nearly gave up, still I finished what I started. Maybe no one sees the difference, maybe nothing shines tonight, but the person standing here is not the one who first arrived. I can grieve what I was hoping without throwing it away. I can't let this moment hurt me and still rise another day. The work still counts, even when the number doesn't. Every hour changed my hands, every fall made something stronger. Oh, the work still counts, even when I miss the mark. I am more than what was written at the bottom of the page. This is not the proof I wanted, but it is not all I am. The result may close one doorway, the work still counts. Maybe almost is not failure, maybe it means I came this far, close enough to see the distance, clear enough to choose another start. I will not pretend it's easy, I will not call the ache a gift, but what I practice stays inside me, and no score can take away. The work still counts. Now I know it does not end my chance. I can honor all the effort and begin again. The result is only one moment, not the measure of my path. I may not have reached it this time, but the work still counts. I close the page, but keep the strength. The answer ended, I did not. One breath, one step, one more beginning. The work still counts.
You haven't seen me yet, but I am still becoming. I spoke about the things I wanted. They nodded, then moved on. My ideas stayed inside the notebook long after everyone was gone. The room was full of certain voices, polished, bright and clear. Mine felt smaller in the silence, like it disappeared before they heard. I watched the door close one more time, heard maybe later, not just yet. But something in me kept on writing, even when no one turned their head. Maybe they cannot see it now, maybe it has not taken shape, but a future can be growing long before it has a name. You haven't seen me yet, not the fire under quiet, not the hours after midnight, not the strength I haven't shown. You haven't seen me yet, only where I am today, not the distance I can travel, not the person on the way. I don't need the room to notice, I will keep it coming till the hidden light can't hide. You haven't seen me yet, not yet, not all. There is more inside these walls. I learned to work without applause, to build when no one asked to see, to leave small marks across the pages that still looked blank to everyone but me. The plans grew slowly in the margins, lines connecting day by day. What they called an empty season was a foundation taking shape. Some nights outside at the table, asking why I still believed, I answered by returning to the work in front of me. Maybe proof arrives much later, maybe faith must come before I can know what I am carrying, even when they say no more. You haven't seen me yet, not the fire under quiet, not the hours after midnight, not the strength I haven't shown. You haven't seen me yet, only where I am today, not the distance I can travel, not the person on the way. I don't need the room to notice, I will keep it coming till the hidden light can't hide. You haven't seen me yet. One day the doors that never opened will be smaller in the view. One day all the unseen practice will look obvious and true. Not because they finally named me, not because they changed their minds, but because I kept believing when belief was only mine. They are judging one unfinished page. I am writing what comes next. You haven't seen me yet. Now the quiet turns to motion. Every step beneath the surface has that I have, and that is where it starts. The notebook closes, the light stays on. No one is watching, still I carry on. Not unseen, not small, just early, that is all.
I almost called it over, and I pulled the chair back in. The page had stopped making sense. The numbers blurred beneath my hand. The coffee had gone cold again, and nothing worked the way I planned. I closed the screen and stood up slow, ready to leave the night behind. But halfway to the darkened door, one unfinished line stayed in my mind. No sudden courage filled the room, I only turned the lamp back on. Not because the doubt was gone, not because I felt prepared. I just chose the smallest step, still waiting for me there. So I sit down again, pull the notebook close, take the thought that keeps resisting, and begin with what I know. I sit down again, even tired, even slow. I do not need to finish everything, I only need to go. One more line, one more try, one more hour beneath the light. I wanted to give up, but I sit down again tonight. I read the same paragraph twice, then broke it into smaller parts, put one mistake beside another, and found a place where I could start. The silence stopped accusing me, the clock became a steady sound. My hands remembered how to move when I stopped demanding answers. No perfect focus came to save me, just one more task I carried through. Maybe courage looks this ordinary, a chair, a lamp, a page. Maybe progress means returning when leaving feels much safer. So I sit down again, pull the notebook close, take the thought that keeps resisting, and begin with what I know. I sit down again, even tired, even slow. I do not need to finish everything, I only need to go. One more line, one more try, one more hour beneath the light. I wanted to give up, but I sit down again tonight. There will be nights I lose the rhythm, days when effort feels too small, times I cannot see the reason for continuing at all. But I am not asking for forever, only for this page, for the next 10 quiet minutes, for one choice I still can make. The future grows in hidden moments, when a tired hand returns to the work it almost left behind, and tries enough to learn. Oh, but I stayed and faced the light. I do not need to conquer, I only need to know that when I nearly walked away, I chose one step to go. The coffee is still cold,
The morning is still far,
but one more page is finished.
and I know where I will start.
Lamp on,
Chair in,
one breath, begin again.
the page looks almost the same, but I don't. I opened yesterday's notebook and found the lines I used to fear. Words that once took all my courage now arrived a little clear. The margin held my old mistakes, circles drawn in restless pen. Today my hand moved past them without stopping there again. No one came to say I'd grown, still I saw it in the small things I could finally do alone. Maybe progress doesn't announce itself, maybe it waits in ordinary light, until I look back long enough to see I'm not where I was last night. I'm a little further than yesterday, not at the finish but on my way. One step steadier, one fear less, one more reason to trust this pace. I'm a little further than yesterday, even if nobody sees the change. I don't have to move like anyone else, I only have to become more myself. Slow is still forward, small is still true. Today I found the distance between the old me and the new. I tried the task that stopped me every time I reached this part. This morning it still challenged me, but it didn't close my heart. I finished sooner than before, left fewer questions on the page. What felt impossible last season now felt difficult but changed. I found an old voice recording, shaking through the opening line, then heard the one I made today and barely knew that voice was mine. Maybe growth is hidden in comparison, not with the world but who I've been. A quiet difference only I can measure, a door that opens from within. I'm a little further than yesterday, not at the finish but on my way. One step steadier, one fear less, one more reason to trust this pace. I'm a little further than yesterday, even if nobody sees the change. I don't have to move like anyone else, I only have to become more myself. Slow is still forward, small is still true. Today I found the distance between the old me and the new. Some roads rise so gently, you don't notice while you climb, until the view behind you shows how far you've come with time. I used to think that growing had to look like something grand, but sometimes it is simply doing what you once thought you can. So I will keep the old pages to remember every version that kept bringing me this far. Becoming, still on my way. One breath braver, one doubt less. One more morning I chose my best. A little further than yesterday, and that is enough for me today. I don't need to race the world outside. My own small progress is still mine. Slow is still forward, small is still true. Tomorrow I'll go further from the place I reached today. The page looks almost the same, but now I know what changed. One line clearer, one step through, a little further, a little more like me.
The same page, the same unfinished part. This time, I do not turn away. I found the work I used to avoid, the corner folded, the error marked. One wrong step had stopped me here and left its shadow in my thoughts. I remembered how my hands went cold, how quickly courage became doubt, how I closed everything too soon and carried that mistake back out. Today I read each line more slowly. The fear was waiting where it stayed, but I was not the same person who had walked away. I heard the old mistake telling me how this would end. So I stopped at the broken part and faced it again. I faced it again, the place where I went wrong. I stayed when every part of me wanted to be gone. One careful step, one check line, I found the turn I missed last time. It was not easy, it was not fast, but I would not let the past write the ending again. My first attempt still felt uneven. The room grew smaller with each breath. I felt the old panic returning before I reached the hardest step. But I paused and read the signal, moved one piece back into place. Instead of hiding from the error, I looked directly at its shape. The answer slowly came in focus. What once had made me turn away became a problem I could finish by choosing not to escape. I did not need to feel fearless, I only needed not to run. The moment I corrected one small step, the rest began to come. I faced it again, the place where I went wrong. I stayed when every part of me wanted to be gone. One careful step, one check line, I found the turn I missed last time. It was not easy, it was not fast, but I would not let the past write the ending again. Maybe courage is returning to the room that knew your doubt. Maybe healing is completing what you once could not work out. The mistake did not grow smaller, I became more patient there. I learned exactly where I stumbled and how to meet it with more care. Then the final piece held steady, no warning flash, no answer broke. For one long breath I watched it working and let the silence hold. a steadier hand, a different ending. Because I stayed the same page, a quieter heart. I closed the book not to escape it, but because this time I finished.
You made it through. I found your picture in the back of a drawer. You look so tired, but you were still here. You sat beside the window while the whole house slept, hid your tears behind the pillow and tried to catch your breath. Your notebook held unfinished plans, your hands shook when you wrote. Still, you turned another page when hope felt far away. You thought the dark would last forever, but every morning you got up, even when the room felt cold, even when you had enough. I know you did not feel brave, but courage was the way you stayed. When no one saw the cost, you chose another day. You made it through the nights that felt too long, the days you smiled for everyone while everything felt wrong. You made it through with more strength than you knew. Let me hold that younger heart and say, I'm proud of you. You did not have to shine, you only had to stay. You made it through and brought me here today. I remember all the mornings you stood before the glass, trying to look a little stronger, waiting for the hurt to pass. You carry quiet worries, took the long way home alone, made a place of safety out of music in your room. Doors refused to open, words made you feel small. Still you kept one promise, not to disappear at all. You did not know who you were saving each time you chose one more day. But I am standing here because you never walked away. You made it through the nights that felt too long, the days you smiled for everyone while everything felt wrong. You made it through with more strength than you knew. Let me hold that younger heart and say, I'm proud of you. I wish I could sit beside you on the edge of that old bed, tell you every cruel conclusion was not the truth ahead. I would not promise easy days, I would only tell you this: one day you will look backward and see how strong you were. Every time you started over, built the life I live in now. This is not a goodbye, it is a thank you sent through time. the picture back, but not the way before. Now when I see your eyes, I see the one who carried me this far. You did so well, you made it through.